Simplified Chaos, episode 59.
Life is beautiful and full of chaos.
And it can get slightly out of hand if that shit's not tamed.
We're here to share how to simplify the little things to help you lead a more intentional life.
This is Simplified Chaos.
Hey, wonderful friends. Welcome to another episode of Simplified Chaos. This is Jillian, one of your hosts, and I'm with my co-host and husband, Nicholas.
What's going on, folks? Hope you all are having a wonderful day today. We've got another great episode here for you. Jilly, what are we diving into today?
Bum-ba-dum. Today's topic is all about how to earn money while, quote-unquote, updating your home.
This is going to be a fun one. We just did some updating of our room, and we actually made money on it.
It's a crazy thing. Anytime you think about renovating or refreshing something in your home and making it feel different or better, you think about, I have to spend money. But in fact, we actually made money, which was
we are net positive on this little project we have. We have a new podcast studio.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you mentioned that before.
We just moved our get up around here. So we have a lot more space for us to do this, even though we are confined to sitting in front of this microphone here.
Yeah. Our bedroom makes a nice studio.
It does. It really does. Before we dive into that and before we talk about a little gratitude, just want to do a little promotion here.
Oh, snap.
Yeah. Jilly. No, I'm throwing you off here.
Yeah.
So we are actually going to be attending a fundraiser in Baltimore. So this is going out to our friends in the Baltimore area. It's called Rise Up, and it's a fundraiser for cystic fibrosis. And we felt that this would be a great way if you're in the area and want to support a good cause. You can come hang out with us. And this is a really awesome event. This will be the third year in a row that Jill and I are going to this. And what it is you have a bunch of restaurants from the Baltimore, I think, Bartenders Guild that show up.
Yes.
And rye is the drink of choice, hence Rise Up, RYE. And they just have a lot of amazing invented cocktails that they do and you know, are trying to win a contest. But then there's also food. You have restaurants from around Baltimore, and you're also they're competing to get the best food of the night. So it's a fun 2.5 hour event. It is on our website at simplifiedchaos.com/events.
Wait,
and yes,
we have a website.
We have a website.
Whoop.
That is the other housekeeping item before we dive into today's episode. So yes, simplifiedchaos.com is live.
It's pretty exciting, and I'm really, really even more jazzed about the fact that we have an events page, so that way we can connect in real life with people. I am so pumped about that. We may not be the best at planning things,
right,
but we're good at finding events and saying, hey, let's all meet there and have a good time.
Yeah. And there was another event that we wanted to do in May, and it turns out it's already sold out. So it's a popular event. It's a beer fest in Frederick, Maryland.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, we're not going to be able to do that one, but we are actively looking for awesome events that hopefully we can meet up with you, catch up, have a conversation, and, just have a good time. So be on the lookout for some more events coming up pretty soon.
Yeah. And if anybody in the area, like, Delaware, Virginia, Maryland, if you guys know of any really cool ideas where you think that an event would be like a great place for us to go to, any kind of, basically anywhere with either good coffee, good cocktails, or good food, we are game. So if you guys have any ideas for events, we are open for ideas because we could use all the help we can get.
Yeah. So with that out of the way, Jilly, let's talk a little gratitude. What are you grateful for today?
Well, it kind of stole it a little bit. I was going to say I was grateful for you.
Oh, man.
So not only because I know you've been busting your balls trying to get this website live, and you were getting it
They are a little swollen now. Not kidding.
Gross. Ew. You were just really working hard on getting it just right, where I'm like, just throw it together, Nick, and just put it out there. And you're like, no, it needs to be just right. So I'm just very appreciative of your work ethic, and you just teach me a lot as well through that process of just making sure if you're going to do it well. Like, do it once and do it well. Like, yeah, you're going to make mistakes, but put your best work out there. You know, sometimes you don't want to put a sloppy ass mess. Kind of like what I did when I first started blogging. I put out really amateur work, but you know what? It was out there, and I've gotten so much better through the process of making mistakes and learning and growing. But you're just so precise, and you do so much research beforehand, where I feel like I'm the exact opposite. Like, I kind of learned through the process. I'm like, yeah, I'll figure it out. I don't need to look up a YouTube video on how to do this. And I love that you kind of balance me out with that. And not only have you done that, but also this week has been pretty rough for me. And I kind of want to be real in here because I feel like our listeners are our little close-knit community. So I feel like I can open up about certain things that I can't open up on social media.
Sure.
But work has been rough. There's been a lot of testing and data, and I am a teacher in case you didn't know. So I've had a lot of conflicting feelings and disalignment with what I'm doing. And I love the kids I'm working with, but it's just been rough.
Yeah.
Testing is really eating me alive right now. And I've cried multiple times this week, and you've listened to me. And I'm just grateful that you're there to kind of like my sounding board to just listen to me and just pick me up when I need uplifting. So
that's what I'm here for, baby.
I'm really appreciative of you. You've been like my therapist this week. So thanks.
Anytime. No, I knew there was, some things going on, and, I wanted to be here to listen to you and, provide advice if I can, but more importantly, just to listen to you. So happy to be here, and I'll be here for anything else that you need to, baby.
I appreciate that.
Anytime.
All right, enough about my sob stories. What about you?
Well,
what are you grateful for?
I was going to do the same thing with the gratitude segment and say that I'm grateful for you because you've been such a huge support with this effort as well.
Man, we sound like a sappy love
couple. I know,
couple,
we really are. But we also are aligned too in our thinking, so that's kind of interesting. But there was some parts of this project that you were instrumental in helping out with, and particularly with our story. I think that page is awesome. I hope you all check it out. And if you haven't heard some of our earlier episodes, this kind of gives you a really good idea of how we got to where we are and, why we're doing what we're doing. And Jill, you did an amazing job with that page and, with all the other stuff and just bearing with me as I got through this project. And yes, I am kind of a perfectionist and I still am going back over everything. And do I think it's perfect in my mind? No, but I mean, it's got the content, it's out there. It gives a little bit more than what you can get from just, the Apple podcast app or the Google podcast app or Spotify or wherever you're listening to this podcast. So we really hope you'll check it out. Please give us some feedback, good, bad, the ugly, whatever. We always want to improve our content and our site. So we are wide open for comments.
And connection. I'm so excited for the events page. I can't say
we need to fill that bad boy up.
There's only one event, and I'm just so excited to see if anyone's even going to come. If they don't, that's cool too. But if they do, it's like, hey, we're here. You're here.
We're going to go out and have fun.
And even if you don't drink or you're pregnant, you can still have fun because I went one year.
You were pregnant the first year.
Super pregnant.
Yep.
And I just ate up a shit ton of food.
Oh, yeah.
It was really, really fun.
You were hitting up those food vendors on the constant.
It was really awesome.
Yes.
And it's for such a good cause. My cousin had cystic fibrosis, and it's really dear to my heart. So even if you don't understand the disease or what it's all about, but you want to support a good cause, it's a great fundraiser to go to. It's fun, and it's for something that's really dear to me. But yes.
All right.
I'm going to stop with the sob sadness stories.
We've been very sappy for the first 8 minutes of this podcast here. So
we have, and that's okay. That's okay.
That's all good. All right. So
yes,
we teased a little bit at the beginning of this episode and how we were able to actually make money on rearranging and doing things to our room. So we're going to dive into that. Where you want to start, Jill?
So I want to talk to the why first. I think because lately, it's been a little overwhelming at work because I am human and I try to be positive. But yes, I still feel the feels of when things aren't going away that I want it to go. I think because I was feeling a certain way on the inside, I wanted to freshen up my bedroom so that way I'm even more calm, more relaxed, and have a space that I can retreat to and just feel really at ease because the inner chaos has been a little hectic lately. So the space we decided to concentrate on was our bedroom. And I know that we're very intentional with our money. And we were like, I pretty much was probably pressuring you. I said, Nick, let's change some things in the bedroom.
Yeah.
But I don't want to spend money. And I do want to make it feel a little bit calmer and make me feel a little bit happier. So we did some things to the bedroom. And we're going to go over all of them. And these are things that can be applied to any part of your home. And then we're also going to share how you don't have to spend any money doing it, but you actually have a possibility of making money in the process, which to me makes the deal a little bit sweeter.
Yeah, it's certainly sweet in the pot. So, I guess we'll start with the first project that we did, because this is kind of a two-phase project that we did here. The first one was the closet. And we had been talking about redoing our closet for probably almost 2 years. Like, I think we had our first conversation a couple of years ago about that. And, we were looking at doing and we have a walk-in closet, but I mean, you literally walk in and you're at the other side of the wall. I mean, it's a very small walk-in closet. The way that it was laid out before, it was basically like a U shape with the rack on top with the hangers under that, or, the hanging space. So it was basically like a U. So literally you walked in the closet and you were in the thick of things. So, we were looking at all kinds of different organizing systems. There was like a Martha Stewart thing that we saw at one point that, was a possibility in there. And, just the measurements to me weren't adding up. And I was just like, how do we make this, just let's simplify this. Like, I think we were overcomplicating everything at the beginning, just kind of thinking about, what's that dream closet look like? Yeah.
And how can we get rid of what we have and just put something new in there instead of, what can we use what we have and make it work?
Right. So I got to thinking, and I was like, if we stopped with this whole U-shape idea and just did an extended hanging and a rack on each side, that we're going to have more space in this closet. And actually, we didn't lose any hanging space whatsoever.
Our closet kind of reminded me of those corner cabinets in kitchens.
Ah, yes.
Where you open it up and you're like, this corner closet is a bitch because there's so much space in here that I can't use. And it's so difficult to get to unless you have those new and improved cabinets that kind of open up everything and just accordion out. I don't know how to describe it, but yeah, we had a lot of space that wasn't used.
Yes.
And instead of getting some kind of crazy expensive system to organize our closet to make it quote unquote better, we were like, let's just use the same racks and just put them on both sides. And we will totally put pictures out there because I don't even know how well this is being described to you.
I think we're doing a good job.
Maybe so. So instead of this U-shaped rack, we just now have on both sides of on the right and the left side of our closet, we just have a rack and a rack. And the wall that we see when we walk in is just nothing.
Yeah, well, we have hats there now, but we'll get into that.
Yes, we do. Yeah.
So what we ended up doing is we took all the racks down. I was able to reuse one of them and had to go out to Home Depot and buy another one. So yes, I did buy some. We spent some money. So I'm not saying that we didn't spend money, but we made money on this thing.
Yes.
So had to buy a rack from Home Depot. We had to buy paint because our walls were all scuffed up and no amount of scrubbing would have cured the dings and bruises and everything like that. And besides, because we were changing the layout, there were some holes to patch in the wall as well. Didn't spend any money on spackle because we had that here. So, $0 in the spackle department. So spackled it, painted it, put the racks up, and boom, closet was done for a grand total of under $50.
There's something about a coat of white paint that just makes me smile.
Yeah.
It was
especially when it's fresh.
So fresh.
It looks really good.
And I did all the painting. Don't scuff it up. I did all the painting.
You did all the painting this time.
I was pretty proud of myself. Yeah. So I was like, Nick, we need to get this closet done and I will paint. That's how dedicated I was. I was like,
Jill hasn't painted in this house in years. I'm kidding.
I painted my sister's nursery.
Yes, you did.
Come on now. Give me some credit.
I know. I'm teasing.
I don't like painting. Like every 10 years, I really enjoy painting. But in between, it's like, ugh.
Jill likes the idea of painting, but when it actually comes to painting, it's like, no, I'm not
sure
doing this.
A lot of people.
I agree. Yeah, of course. Who doesn't want a fresh coat of paint on the walls? It's just a pain in the ass.
So yeah, the first thing we did was we did freshen up our closet, and we realized we didn't need some expensive closet organization thing. We just basically used a lot of things we already had and made it work, because really you don't need more things to organize stuff. It's usually you need less stuff and a simpler way to put your things.
Yeah. And it also, again, it forced us to look at some things to see if we really needed them or not. I mean, we did the whole Marie Kondo thing last year and got rid of a ton of stuff, and we've continued to get things, and something comes in, something goes out. You know, that's a rule that we've continued to follow. But it gave us another opportunity to say and kind of reevaluate a year later, is this something that quote unquote sparks joy, as Marie Kondo would say? And, you know, we got rid of more clothes or shoes.
Yeah. And we also bought some hooks to hang my wide brim hats, because I'm quite obsessed with my 3 beautiful wide brim hats, and I wanted to display them as art instead of them being stacked up and piled on top of a shelf where they were just you know?
Yeah. So that was the closet project. It took just a weekend to complete, and really, you know, wasn't even a full weekend. I mean, it was literally an hour part of the day for me to cut the racks and get those up, and then maybe 2 hours for you to paint. And we were done.
So after that, there was a couple weeks went by, and then I was inspired by somebody on Instagram, and I will definitely reference her and talk to you more about her.
There's a lot of inspiration on Instagram.
I
will say that. For all the other craziness, there is a lot of inspiration there.
And I'm learning to use Instagram purposefully. So she inspired me to kind of refresh our bedroom, because I was feeling a certain way on the inside. And I was like, listen, I need something different in our bedroom, something that just makes me feel a little bit cozier. And I was really intrigued by doing something to the bedroom, but not spending money. So we have been talking a while about getting rid of our bed frame. We have a beautiful king size bed that we got from Nick's parents.
The frame came from my parents.
Frame. And let's just preface that his parents' bedroom, their previous master bedroom, was like 3 times the size of our bedroom. Yeah. It was a huge space. So this bed frame was gigantic and it was beautiful, but it was just really large for our space. It was beautiful, but it was just too big for the tiny bedroom we have. And I don't think it's tiny, but it's a lot tinier than their space that they used to have. So we finally decided to take out the bed frame. We were like, let's get rid of it. And while we were doing that, I said, I think we should put the bed on a different wall. So just the simple act of taking out one thing and then moving it in a different location completely changed our room.
Yeah. And we were actually considering another bed frame, more low profile, and that cost $1,000. And there was another thing we were considering in the house too. We were also considering a new couch, because we're not in love with our sectional couch, but right now it's you know, it's serving its purpose. There's a lot of people and pets in this house that use that thing. And that was going to be another $1,000. And Jill said to me, she's like, let's make it a goal this year that we don't buy either, and let's save that money for traveling or whatever. And I was like, all right, I'm down with this challenge. So we kept the box spring and our bed's just laying on the box spring on the floor. And it's exactly what we want. You know, we got rid of it. It's cozy as hell. Yeah, it's cozy. It's a lot easier for our dog Jamie to get in bed now. She's starting to get a little bit of arthritis in the hips, and every now and then it was a burden for her to jump up into our bed, and now she just kind of just walks right onto it.
And Lucille loves the new height of our bed.
Absolutely loving the new height. And for us too, like if she wants to take a nap on our bed, I'm not really worried about if she falls off of it. Yeah, it would probably suck for a second, but it would be a lot.
She'd be cool. Yeah.
It would be, and if she was on the other bed, that would be a heck of a fall for her. But this one is much more manageable.
Yeah. So the simple act of just taking something out of our bedroom and then just moving furniture was just it completely changed the feeling of our room.
Yep.
Something else we did was we also took out an end table. Nick had an end table on his side of the bedroom.
A nightstand, so to say.
Nightstand. And it's something near and dear to me. It was my grandmother's. So we decided to put that in Lucille's room. And Lucille had something in her room that we took out. So we're all about that 1 in, 1 out rule. So if we are swapping or doing anything, we have to make sure that we are taking something out so that's not too much stuff in a space, because we do like things. I don't know. I don't like clutter. So
No.
we had these 2 little end tables. I don't even call them end tables. We're using them as bedside tables, but they're these little tables that they fold up and they can fold out. Like, I don't know how.
Almost like the TV dinner kind of stands. You know, if you had them at your couch, you put them in front of you and put your TV dinner on it. You know, it's very old school.
But they're way cooler because it was, I thought it was my great grandfather who made them, but come to find out, talking to my mom, it was my great aunt's boyfriend who was married. Scandal.
Oh.
So he is the one who made these tables. So I'm like, we can never get rid of these tables.
Yeah.
They have such a cute history to
They
it.
definitely do.
Anyway, so we have 2 tables. They're very small and very compact, and we use them to put our laptops on when we're podcasting, and they're super universal with a lot of things in our home. So we did that, and something else we did was that we did move our dresser, so we did move some other furniture, and I told Nick I've always wanted greenery in our bedroom.
Ah, yes.
There is something about seeing green plants that just make me feel at ease. It reminds me of just being outside. So we took a plant that we had downstairs and we simply moved it upstairs, which has completely, to me, changed the feel of our room.
It does.
Because not only do I see greenery in my room, but also it forces us to keep our curtains open, which means there's natural light.
All the time.
All the time, because it needs sun. So there's something about that natural light always coming through the window, and then that greenery that I see when it is daylight, because when I get up in the morning to go to work, it usually is pretty dark. But it gives me that feeling that I just can't describe. And it's just a simple plant that we took from downstairs and moved it up.
My biggest fear is that I'm going to knock it over one night going to bed because I'm still not used to that it's there. And I kind of brushed by it last night and I was like, oh, and grabbed it and made sure it didn't fall over. Because I walk in the dark. I try not to turn the lights on when you're sleeping. So
I appreciate that.
Yeah. But no, I think it's awesome that we have a plant in here now. It's supposed to be good for the air. From what I hear.
Helps the toxins.
Helps get rid of the toxins or
detoxifies the bedroom.
Do we want to talk about the elephant in the room?
There's an elephant in the room?
Well, there was.
What do you mean?
The stuff that was under our bed.
Oh shit, I forgot about that. Yeah, we had some stuff, and I'm sure a lot of people can relate.
Who does not store stuff under your bed when you have the storage space to do that?
And So I started reading about feng shui, and I don't know if anybody knows about feng shui, but I'm all about energy. Feng shui. I don't even know. Hopefully I'm pronouncing it right.
I'm just being silly.
But yes, I mean, I do go to an acupuncturist, so I'm all about the foo-foo stuff, anything you think, or the woo-woo, foo-foo, woo-woo, whatever you call it.
I don't even know where you're going with that.
But I'm all about energy. Energy. So when I started reading about feng shui, it was talking about how you have better energy in your room when you don't have anything under your bed. You have better energy in your room when your bed isn't on the same wall as your door. You have better energy in your room when you have pairs of things. And that's why we brought in
breaking all the rules beforehand.
And I'm all about experimenting. So I'm trying all this stuff out. And so far I'm loving it. So we brought in the little 2 tables. So there's pairs. So it's equal. And we got rid of everything under our bed because we can't put anything under our bed. You can't put anything
under a box spring that's laying on the floor.
That's why I kind of like it, because it forces us. We had to either get rid of it or find a new home for it and just be creative with what we have. But I love that it forced us to go through all of the crap that was under our bed.
I mean, I think, looking back, it was like just easy to put some things under the bed, like the pack and play, our laundry baskets, the leaf extension on our dining room table. And there was some other, did I say luggage? There was luggage stuff under the bed. So it was just kind of an easy place to get it out of sight, out of mind. So it really forced us to, evaluate where we can start putting things. And, it's like the laundry baskets. Well, those can be downstairs in the basement in the laundry room. We're going to have to go all the way down to the basement to get the laundry basket and then come all the way back upstairs to fill that laundry basket up with clothes and then go all the way back downstairs. But I was like, it gets us moving.
Yes, thank you.
Why the hell not?
Thank you. More movement in our life. I mean, we're over the workouts. We just move throughout the day. So why not encourage more walking and squatting?
Get my stairs in.
I'm proud of you, babe.
Yeah.
Bump. Little pound action.
So yeah, when Lucille wants a fist bump, she says bump bump. So we do the bump bump around here. So yeah, no, that was another advantage of us really got just rethinking the room and making us feel a lot lighter.
Absolutely. And something else that we did, I think this is probably the last thing, is that I have been toying with the idea of buying a new comforter for our bed. And we do have a king bed, so it's expensive.
Yeah.
And Nick kept saying, we have dogs. So no matter what you get, like it's gonna get stuff on it because we have dogs that sleep with us.
Yep.
So we do have this amazing king comforter that we got from Target a couple of years ago. And it's got a pattern on it. And I was like, what can I do to just change it? So I decided to flip it.
Flip that shit.
And it's not a reversible comforter. It's just a regular comforter. On one side, it has a design. On the other side, it doesn't. And I was like, why don't I just flip it? And it gives it a whole new look. And you're probably like, I could give a shit, Jill. But for me, it's like, it
looks good.
I enjoy the diversity and the, I guess a different change.
Yeah. It's a different look. It definitely, it's something you notice when you walk in the room. Like I noticed when you flipped it, I was like, the pattern's gone.
What is happening, Jill?
Yeah.
What are you doing to our bedroom? But yeah, it didn't cost anything. It just took a little creative thinking and said, how can I use what I have and just make a small change, whether it's positioning the pillows a different way or using a different blanket on our bed that we already have. It's really so stinking simple to refresh any space in your home by just using what you have and then just moving it around in a creative way.
Yeah. But Jill.
Yeah.
There's something we've left out.
We did?
Yeah.
What did we?
I'm sure some people have figured this out already, but we made money on our room.
This is coming full circle now, folks.
Yeah.
The whole episode is all about earning money while, quote unquote, updating your home. And yes, so we spent money in the beginning.
Yes, but the beautiful bed frame that we had was a hot commodity on the Facebook marketplace, the go-to for when we want to get rid of stuff. And within 30 minutes of me posting it on Facebook, I had somebody saying that they would come pick up the bed frame at my house the next day. And it was just one of those things where I wasn't hauling this bed frame anywhere. It's too big for me to put in any of our vehicles. So, made sure in my posting that I said, hey, you have to pay cash and you're going to need a truck to come pick this thing up. And this couple came by on Monday evening and picked it up. And we sold it for $75.
It was a beautiful bed frame.
It's a beautiful piece. It's probably worth more than that, but I price to sell. I don't want to sit on it longer than I have to. I don't want to get in these pricing negotiations because the first thing you get is people trying to lowball you. They're like 50, 60. And, if people would do that, don't make a decision within the first 24 hours to sell it. Give it time. Somebody's going to be out there willing to pay the price that you're putting it out there for, and this person did, and they're now gonna have joy out of it. And the wife was just like, wow, this is beautiful, and I'm glad it's going to a new home and hopefully can last another 15, 20 years, however old it is.
It definitely served a purpose for us, and it was beautiful to look at. And now it's going to bring happiness to another couple, which is really cool because we're happier and now they're happier. So to me, it's like,
it's a win-win.
It is such a win-win.
Yeah.
But yeah, so everything that we spent in the beginning, we ended up making back and making a little extra change.
Net $25.
So it's pretty exciting. I think you have more power than you think to change your home, make it look different, make yourself feel better, and then still may possibly make some money for a future adventure, a date night, something. And we're all about, anytime we make money, we're like, date night.
$75 pretty much covers a date night for us.
Yes.
So you had mentioned earlier that you have a resource that you'd like to share with the listeners.
I do.
Drop it.
All right. So the inspiration for us really starting to refresh our bedroom was from somebody I've been following on Instagram. Her handle on Instagram is life_simplified, and her name is Cassidy. And she actually posted a post on Instagram, and she also has a podcast, which I just found out about, where she talks about these little tips that she does to refresh her room or refresh her space in her house. Well, her space in her home. Did I say that right?
Yeah, you're good.
Without spending money. Sorry. So let me just read a little bit about the post, and then I'm going to give you some of the tips she did talk about on her podcast. And she actually podcasts with her husband too, which is really cool. Shout out. That's awesome. Love these couple podcasts. It's so fun. Yeah.
We're all starting a trend here. Have a podcast with your spouse or your partner.
It's like freaking therapy, man.
Yeah.
So her podcast, man, I am like fucking up all the words today.
That gold rush getting to you?
A little bit.
All right.
The cocktail was pretty sweet.
It was money.
So she starts off just saying how to refresh your space. We all have moments where what we have doesn't feel like enough. And with the plentiful, beautifully styled homes on Pinterest and Instagram, it's so easy to feel the desire to go out and purchase a clean slate. One that's quote unquote on trend or looks like one of your favorite influencers. But before you do that, pause. Before you go out and spend your hard-earned money or put something on a credit card, give these tips a go. And she shared, I think, 5 tips on her podcast. I'm not going to give you all the 5, but I'm going to give you some of them that were intriguing to me and that what sparked me to force Nick to help me refresh our bedroom. So number 1, rearrange furniture or decorations.
Mm-hmm.
Put a mirror somewhere else, move a picture, put your bed on a different wall.
Yeah. Get rid of your bed frame. Put your bed on the floor. There's a lot of possibilities here.
We took it to the next level.
Yeah.
The next lower level.
Level.
Number 2, write down what you're grateful for and take time to appreciate what you have.
Like it.
So before you go and buy anything, it's like, appreciate what's fucking around you.
Yeah.
Something so small.
I think we did a lot of that, just like looking around the room and just saying, wow, glad we have this, you know?
And that's when I told you when we were looking at buying a new bed frame and a new couch, I need accountability because I know that I am so spontaneous with like, I want to do this. Let's do it now.
Yeah.
And I was like, Nick, I want this challenge and I'm going to tell it to you out loud so that we don't buy a bed frame and we don't buy a couch. Because
well, you know me. I always like to sit on that anyway.
Yes, and I think
you were ready to pull the trigger on that couch like that day that you showed it to me. And I was like, yeah, let's think about it.
Yes. So just so you know, guys, I am human. And just because we're simplifying and we're quote unquote minimalists in a certain way, I still want to buy stuff. So Nick is my accountability guy. Like I'm telling him, like, don't let me get this.
Accountability buddies.
We don't need this. This money could go towards adventures.
Yeah.
Okay. Number 3, repurpose things. So she gives an example of just how you can use books and candles to completely change the way a space looks.
Hygge.
By just stacking books a certain way or putting them on a shelf or just adding a candle somewhere or putting new pillows on your bed that you maybe had downstairs on your couch and just putting them somewhere else. Even though
flipping your comforter over.
Exactly. So I just love how she gives tips on how to make your space feel fresh, but not having to spend money doing it. Just realizing what you have is enough. And then how can you use what you have to get creative and just make the space a little bit happier and different.
That's awesome.
So yeah,
so we will
thank you, Cassidy.
Yeah, we will put Cassidy's Instagram handle and a link to her podcast in the show notes.
Yes, absolutely. Give it a listen.
Yeah, definitely.
Her and her husband have a great dynamic. I listened to a little bit of the episode and they're just super cute together.
That's awesome. Just like us.
I think we're pretty cute. It'd be cool to kind of meet them in real life. So maybe, Cassidy, we can meet up in person one time. That would be pretty fun.
That'd be awesome. We do like to travel for our podcast.
We do. We're pretty booked this year, but maybe next year we can make it happen.
Yeah. No, that's great. All right. So let's dive into the quote of the day.
The quote of the day is from Cassidy, too. I'm going to keep
Giving
this.
Cassidy a lot of love.
I am.
All right. I like it.
Never underestimate what you can do with what you already have.
So true. You'd be very surprised in what you can do.
I agree.
Yeah. And so that leaves us with the Take Action Challenge. What are we challenging our listeners to do this week?
So we're making you do stuff, guys. Your Take Action Challenge today is to shop at home and get creative before you buy a damn thing.
Yeah. And then sell shit on Facebook Marketplace and make money.
Make money, money, make money, money, make.
All right.
This was a good one.
This was a good one.
I feel like a lot of people can resonate with just wanting to change your home or update or renovate, and just really realizing that you already have the tools. You just have to be creative and swap it around, switch things, move things around, shuffle it up, I don't know. I can't think of any more words.
It's all good. All right, folks, that's going to do it for today's episode. Remember, if you like this episode, please share it with a friend or on social media, because sharing sparks a conversation. Conversation leads to action, and action is how we are able to live a happy and intentional as hell lifestyle. I want to thank you all for listening today, and we will see you again next week.
See you later, guys.